How's it going?
Hey.
I just kind of freaked out. I hit the wrong button. I'm like, oh shit, my screen went black again. I just ended up opening up a new link, so I was able to bounce back. What is up?
Yeah, you know what's going on. Good
Oh,
things.
yeah.
Good things, some changes.
Definitely. For everyone who doesn't know who I am speaking with, I am talking to Mike from Freakshow from out of San Diego, California. Also become a very good friend of mine in the last year. So, Mike, how the hell have you been, man?
Yeah, I've been good. Getting it together here. Getting Freakshow ready for a show in Hollywood coming September 30th with Head PE, amongst others. And yeah, we've been kind of working at that, getting the music down all tight with all my new bandmates who we're also getting ready for the next album. So the question is it going to be Freakshow or are we going to have another project starting?
Interesting. You know, I actually had some questions about that because I know you've had some changes to the band, you know. Yeah, and for the better from what I'm hearing, from what I understand. What does it take to join your freak show? What do you look for?
Well, Freakshow, yeah, for us, since it's such really simple music, we're looking for musicians. That's the whole thing. When I'm out looking for someone or putting an ad out, I'm looking for someone who can play like 100% confident in themselves, number one, confident in the way they look, or actually adding to the way we look. I'm looking for someone who can also compose and write music as well, or sing too and write lyrics. I mean, looking for the full package. Like I can do everything myself, so I kind of would expect that to be like for everyone. Even though I know you can't really find that in people, not always. Usually a guy can play guitar, shreds, plays this, but doesn't know how to write lyrics or songs.
Yeah.
So yeah, you got to be picky though. God, stepped in that fucking pile of crap too many times.
Yeah. No. The only way to find the right pile of crap is to flush the diarrhea, right? That's one way. It's one way to. Facebook needs to stop sending me messages. Interesting. Okay. Anyway, I'm gonna have to do some editing later, but I'm not gonna mess with this. So anyway, so many things. I know we talked actually about 6 months ago. That was our first interview with you.
Yeah.
And you know, I know you guys had some killer shows lined up. You were working on the album and everything was coming up.
Yeah.
So what have you been up to in the last 6 months then, besides bands and setting everything up?
Well, it started off with a particular band meeting. I got to be totally obvious and honest here. We had a band meeting, and I remember I had just talked to a buddy of ours at 434 Management. We'll be ready for them after our contract goes through with our company. Then I don't know. We're gonna either have another band or do this or whatever. But anyway, I was asked what we would do if he handed us a itinerary to leave that weekend. And so I brought that up at the band meeting, and it was like I got some hemming and hawing, and well, I need a couple days, and I need this, and I need that. And I'm like, well, that's the wrong answer. The right answer is, yeah, I'm ready to go. Let's do this. And, you know, people got upset and whatever, but, you know, when people join your band just to get contacts or join your bands for all the wrong reasons, you got to kind of reevaluate the situation and put a stop to it or go ahead and try and see what happens. So being a vet and being around for a little while, I kind of chose, well, maybe this isn't going to work. I am really tired of the selfish people. Like they're playing someone else's music, but they're acting as if they had a hand in creating it. And it's like, well, no. And I didn't push a button and popped out. I didn't borrow anything from anyone. This is written by a professional, and you have to understand that. So dealing with that and dealing with guys that were like just in it for themselves, not for the group. Like we weren't really,
Yeah.
and so that's why I kind of decided to do what I had to do. You know what I mean? I mean,
Right.
it's definitely those things where you gotta think about what your next product's gonna be like, because that's super important when we're at the end of the cycle of this album. What's our next album gonna be like if you're not contributing now?
Yeah.
So that's why I got, like I said, Devin Fish was a guy I played with in Freakshow when we were actually the Flood and had to change our name. And this guy's top chops, really good guitar player, good person as well. Shreds, though, Jesus Christ, he's a really good guitarist. And I'm super stoked to have him back. Seen him at NAMM show in LA. And where was he? He was at the Viper guitar booth where my guitars were on display and stuff. And I couldn't believe I seen him. I was super, super excited and happy. I'm like, I'm glad I could play with this guy. He's super good.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely want to talk about your guitars too. I got a whole little list of things I'd like to get into. Yeah, gotta keep everyone up to date and see what I got. I like to stay up to date with everyone too, especially the people I meet along the way. But I've been friends, see what the hell you guys are up to.
Yeah.
So everything's going good though. Now with the new members. Okay. Do you wanna somewhat, at least talk about who the new freaks are of your show?
Okay, so I got Rick Thomason on bass, lefty. He's a lefty. We actually were in a band that Korn opened up for when we were kids, and we were lucky enough to play some pretty good shows together. He also played in a band called Eisen, the guys from Media Lab. So he's not new to new metal, and he also was playing death metal with a band called Contortion. So he's kind of been around a little bit, done some touring and everything. So he comes in with very humble, I would say, and instead of the usual attitude I've seen, guys get kind of bent when there's one person with experience and the rest of them haven't had it. So what's good with him is he's had the experience, super solid. And excuse me, the guy I have playing drums that will be at the show in Hollywood, a guy named Jeff Bowman. He played drums for Queen of the Stone Age's bass player solo act, and has toured Europe as well. And the singer guy, man, oh my God, Dylan this kid's like ridiculous. And we'll get some shots done there, and I'll post that stuff because you're going to be able to hear where we're going with it. Even with the old album, the album from this year, you'll be able to hear what kind of vocal style we're going with the next album. He'll be like ripped the way he sings.
I'm looking forward to it. Oh yeah, I can't wait to hear the next album. I mean, I love the music to be going. I mean, you guys got some killer songs out there, and making a change sometimes it can be for the better. And it sounds like your tone, everything, the way you're carrying it, you sound like you're really happy and shit's moving forward the way it should.
Yeah,
and getting better. Oh yeah.
Yeah, totally. You just got to keep on trucking, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Sometimes.
About the next album, though, what concept are you going with? What's the next album going to be about?
Well, the next album is 7 strings, drop G, Tony. Oh, it's crazy. It's so deep and punchy and really, really heavy. A lot of the new bands these days are going that way anyway. Drop F or F standard with 8 strings and 7 strings that are tuned down even lower, and it's kind of exciting because it's melodic. Be back to soloing and shredding. Yeah, just super, super excited. Not that Freakshow is limited. We were aiming for a certain audience. and kind of went for it that way. That music's great. It's great by all means, but we need to reach a younger group as well. Like we want to kind of be in everybody's ear for a bit. And I think that's going to happen with the next record for sure.
Yeah. Okay. So do you write all the music, right?
Yeah, but now with my buddy Devin here, it's split duty, and like I said, he has a chunk of music that we're going to start with for the beginning of the next album. He's already written like I'd say 4 or 5 pieces that I've heard. He's probably got tons more, but I've heard 4 or 5 pieces that I was like, holy shit, we got to play this stuff. So. And it's coming. It's coming. I'll be writing some of this style as well. It's something I can do. So
nice. Yeah. Do you write your music for yourself or for the fans?
Kind of both, right? I have a thing I go by. You know, when I write a piece of music for myself personally, if I'm writing, I'll ask that question: would I buy that? If I heard that riff, would I buy that? If I heard the way that song's structured, would I buy that? Or would I go, eh? If I go, eh, it usually doesn't stay around. It's got to be something I would keep for myself to listen to.
Right.
Yeah. I would literally like throw the money down to have that, you know?
Right. But what kind of zone do you have to be in? Is there a certain mood that strikes you to write your music, or is it just a matter of you just sitting down, grabbing down a pen, and getting yourself in the zone?
Right. Now the zone. Okay. Mm-hmm. I know people are going to trip on this. I do not do acid. I do not do drugs. I do not even drink alcohol. But I'll tell you,
I'm sure it don't sound like it. I'm just saying you sound stoned out of your mind, but I know you're not. I know you.
Yeah, right. But I kind of lock into what's around me as far as the universe goes. And I get a couple hours in where I'm not here, but I'm here.
I get it.
Yeah, it's weird. I really don't know how to explain it other than that, but that's how it's done. And then you get a couple of hours of clarity and you put down stuff that you have to relearn it because you're tracking in steps. So usually I write a drum section, then I write a guitar, and then sometimes I decide the guitar will take over the next part or it'll be another drum part. But yeah, gotta kind of be open when you're writing those. That's why I don't get writer's block. Like a lot of people say they get writer's block. Well, you have to relax and don't make it so you owe yourself anything. Just let it out and record something because you can always change it and always make it better. Or don't play it at all and use another idea. You have to have patience with yourself.
Yeah, definitely. I question myself all the time. I argue with myself all the time.
Right.
You know, people say, "Oh, I talk to myself." It's like it's okay. I yell at myself all the time. I have arguments. Nobody ever wins.
Right. So, hey, that happens too.
Yeah.
You know, if I'm going to argue with myself, though, I kind of go, "Okay, time to stop for a minute. I'm here still." So.
At least you know you're here. We might not know it, but you do. So yeah, let's talk about the guitars now. So you have your own guitars with Viper.
Yeah, Viper Guitars is a company it was in Redlands. Now it's up at Crestline where Lake Arrowhead is. And Jeff Heitman, you guys, www.viperguitar.com. You can make your own guitar there. They cost a bit to get your own custom guitar, but I have an endorsement with the company. I love my new guitars. We went with the 26.5 inch necks, a little bit longer than standard, just an inch, so I could put bigger strings on them. So I'm going 11 to 72 on these things with the bare knuckle Ragnarok pickups, Floyd Rose, Stone Tone. If you guys don't know about Stone Tone out there, Stone Tone bridge blocks for complete resonation And with the guitars, now that we're drop tuning to G, my guitars, the resonation's ridiculous now. Like, yeah, this is going to be a good, the next record's going to be great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
But
what are your favorites? 6, 7, or have you tried the
7.
7?
So this one.
Nice.
Yeah, see, that's my,
man. That's beautiful. I love the green too. Love the green.
Yeah, that's my guitar. This is like my main one, the Les Paul looking one. It looks like an ESP body. It's flat, not beveled. Got the binding on it and the sparkly sparkles, and then that snake tooth headstock. A lot of people want to say it looks like Caparson, but Caparson's a little square. This is round on that, all the way down to the first peg. It's round, so it looks like a tooth. And then I got the big guy.
Like, flying around. I'm sorry.
Look at this thing.
That's gorgeous, man.
Watch.
Wow. Dude, that's beautiful, man. Holy crap.
Yeah. So this one right here, I designed this with Jeff as well. Maple necks on both guitars, maple fretboards. But this guitar is 3 different Explorers, like the Jackson Kelly, the Ibanez Destroyer, and the Gibson Explorer. So all 3 bodies in one guitar.
Dude, that's killer, man. That's the whole shape, everything. I mean, that thing's got hip, like it has a waistline that's just curvy as hell.
And the body's thick, solid mahogany bodies too. Great cut of wood. And like I was saying, they're really solid sounding guitars, super clean and heavy. Jeez. So the War Machines. You got something flying around in there?
Dude, I'm sorry. It's a fucking wasp. And he keeps flying around. I'm not used to this happening. This bitch keeps flying around me.
Holy shit. That's going to be on crazy shit that happens during podcasts.
Right? Fuck it. I'm going to be on like 20 of those because shit always goes wrong for me. I'm going to.
Yeah, that's funny.
I'm going to fuck. No, I'm sorry. Hold on. I'm not getting that while I'm lined by a damn wasp. It's not happening. Hold on.
Yeah, those things hurt actually.
I've never gone through this. Hold on a minute. Little fucker keeps flying. Okay, I'm gonna just.
She's got a wasp in her fucking room right now. Yep, you look terrified too. Shit.
Motherfucker. Dude, it's a big one too. He's just flying around like, fuck you, Fran. Okay. If you see me start swatting, you know that bitch is close. I'm sorry. It totally threw me left. Okay. Let's see. What else was there? You guys had a show last night, didn't you? Or a couple nights ago?
What's that? I'm sorry?
Did you guys have a show recently?
No, we got a show coming September 30th.
September 30th. Yeah, you were talking about that.
Yep.
Okay.
Just been working, getting it done.
Yeah.
Totally. But you know, with the level of narcs I've dealt with, I wouldn't doubt if they tried to do something like that.
Yeah. So, how many songs do you plan on being on the next album?
Next album should anywhere from 12 to 14. But okay. What we're gonna do though is we're gonna drop a few singles. Like monthly, we'll drop a single and a video, probably like 3 or 4 times, probably within that 4 month span. And trust me, it'll work. You're not gonna stop listening to it after a week. Seriously.
That's awesome. What about any future plans of EPs?
What's that? I'm sorry.
Any future plans of an EP?
Well, yeah, as well. I think we're gonna do like a little teaser thing, kind of before we start getting all the recordings done. We're gonna do a really good demo and release that, like kind of friends and family, like send you something you can play on the air in between songs or whatever when you're playing people's material, and watch. People will be heads are gonna spin, man. Some of the stuff that Devin has broke out, I'm just like, holy shit, man. This is like, it's crazy sounding shit. So we're going to come swinging really super aggressive, really aggressive, and with way more spark and way more shred. We're going to be playing a lot.
And I'm looking forward to it. You guys need to hit that stage a hell of a lot more.
Well, yeah.
I'm nowhere near you, but I know how you guys. I know the shows have been, kind of spread out, which is good. I mean, you got a lot going on too. You've been just, making tons of music, new album, and that does make a difference. It takes a lot of time.
Yes, it does really, and it takes a different frame of mind. We would have been playing out, but like I said, after that band meeting, it was like, well, I think it's more time to look inside, reflect, rebuild, and move on from that whole situation. Because like I said, not to bang on about it, but that album, the first album, will always be looked at like it was cursed with just bad people. It just had bad intentions from the get-go. Yeah. Unbeknownst to me, though, I'm just trying to write and get music out there, but people were taking it like, dude, this is so good. I'm so glad I get to play. I was like, whoa, dude, back up, bro. It's not hypnotizing you or nothing, is it? It's just music, man. And, a certain kind of feeling. And I don't know, people kind of went weird. So
motherfucker, try me.
We'll have a upgraded version of that style of music plus the gent stuff too. The gent stuff's gonna be like, that's gonna be the thing that's gonna twist some ears for real.
And looking forward to it.
Yeah. We can't.
Do you have an estimated ETA on it?
Well, I would give us, let's say maybe October.
Okay.
Like October, we should be the little EP should be out and about.
I'm sorry. I did hear you said October, and that bitch came right at me when you said.
Yeah, that's so funny. It's like, holy shit, she's like dodging fucking big ass wasp.
Dude, it's like Mothra wasp. It's like, this son of a bitch is big. I swear to God. Even Olga just walked across the room. She's like,
well, usually, if you see one like in my space here, my jam space here, if you see one and it's flying around, you need to follow it because wherever it's going, that's where it lives.
There's three of us in the room now looking at this bitch. Yeah, it's a big motherfucker. But anyway, I'm so sorry. What are you drinking? What is that? Hog?
Pig Hog Cables, baby.
I haven't heard of that one.
Yeah, Pig Hog Cables. That shit is the shit. It's the only cables I use. Not only that, they're made for touring hard. Yeah. I mean, I've literally stepped on, rolled over in chairs, crushed them. Fucking no buzz, no fucking fizzle, fucking good shit. So yeah, Pig Hog Cables, guys.
What does it taste like? This is like free promotion for them too.
Yeah, totally. But I'm drinking water because San Diego, it's too hot to be drinking alcohol.
Yeah, I feel you. It went inside the can.
Oh my God, there it is.
Wait, don't.
I can't see it.
I don't know if the motherfucker's behind me. Gonna land it on my head. I don't know. Oh shit! Live by a damn fucking bug.
That's so funny.
When Fran gets attacked, yeah.
Right.
It's okay though. So what else you got planned? What else you got coming up? You got a show September 30th. You got an album coming up. Possible EP might be dropping.
Yeah, lots of work
for everything. What else you got going?
Yeah, lots of work though. I mean, that's pretty much where we're at right now. Is just hammering guitars, bass. Vocal guy will be here in a couple weeks, and Jeff should be coming in this week to pound out some stuff. So we'll crank up the mesas and get it going. I mean, like I said, it's always a work in progress, man. It's something's always going on, you know.
Right.
Heck yeah.
Any future guitars that might be coming up?
What's that? I'm sorry.
Do you have any ideas on another guitar maybe being made anytime?
Oh yeah. Well, I'll have new guitars made like right after I go back to work.
Okay.
Yeah. That's also in August I start working again. So okay. I would probably say 6 to 8 months in, I'll have a new two new guitars. Yeah, purple this time.
You want to drop in some secrets on that? What are going to be part of the guitars?
Well, these guitars are going to actually be hybrids of the War Machine guitars. The first two that I had made from Viper, I'm going to integrate the two. Well, the longer neck for one, the thick body, the pickups that are in the War Machine, I'm going to have in the new ones.
Okay.
Yeah, heavier, like a bit thicker of a tone. But like I said, I use 11 to 72 strings right now. Plan on going a little bit bigger. Trying to get another endorsement with Graph Tech Tuners. Alex, if you hear this, then you know I'm talking about you. And yeah, get another artist deal with them.
Oh, that's awesome. Well, hopefully it'll.
The War Machine I'm going to have in the new one.
There we go. Well, I can't wait to. I wish fucking StreamYard would allow us to let you guys play your own shit just so we can get a taste of it, you know. But now they got
well, like I said, when we're done demoing, because it'll sound killer, you're gonna think it's the album, but we're gonna demo a few of the new songs, and I'm gonna send you, Savage Ladies of Metal, a disc that nobody in the country will have except for you, and you'll be able to do the initial leak. So that'll be great. It can start out in your neck, start in your neck of the woods, and
I'm going to do my first official review for you.
Yes, exactly.
I don't do reviews. Oh, you know, I haven't done them. I don't know if I want to get into them because I'm already busy enough. You know, I did a special request review about a month ago for a friend here in the Chicago scene. You know,
right?
Special request because he's done me a favor. I'm like, I can get you. That's easy. You know, but I'd be happy to help you out with that. Give you an assessment.
Well, the reason why I'd want you to do the review is because you're you, and somebody else doing it, whatever. It matters that you are doing the review for our next album, the first songs, you know.
Yeah, man, I appreciate that honor. You're giving me that, and I'll be able to pop that cherry.
Yeah, heck yeah, that's what I'm talking about. And you know, Savage Ladies of Metal being behind all these bands and helping out, like, hello, people are listening.
Yes, we are. And I mean, I'd love to be your first review. Fuck yeah, send that shit my way. Definitely, I'll check it out.
Heck yeah.
And you know what the first single is you want me to help release, and I'll get that bitch out there.
Right, and when we figure out, like, if we're gonna decide to continue this way or change, well, we won't change the name. Freakshow will put out an album, but it's the same group of guys. We're gonna do another thing, and as soon as we kind of get the name for that happening, I'll throw that at you too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
cool.
Yeah.
So I do want to ask that, you know, and I kind of bounce around with my questions, and I'm cool with that. How did you come up with the name Freakshow?
Well, Freakshow actually came about because our rapper that we had written a song called Freakshow when we'd written the music. Obviously, I wrote the music, and we were throwing concepts back and forth, and had a song in our set when we were still called The Flood. And then a guy named Pep Williams, who we talked to and worked with at the time, had called me at like 11 at night going, "Hey, man, you guys can't use the name The Flood." And I was like, "Why is that?" He's all, "Well, there's a pretty big band in Australia called The Flood." I was like, "Fuck. They just play rock or something, country or something." And we had to change the name. So just on the fly, I just went, "Well, what about Freakshow?" And then we went on Zoom, legal Zoom, and no one owns it. Like, there's a lot of people out there call themselves Freakshow, rappers, you name it. Everybody thinks they're a Freakshow. And we started doing the purchase and trademark and all that good jive. So,
right. So you own the Freakshow.
So when you see Freakshow the way you see it, that's how we own it.
Dude, I love that. I love your logo, man. You got the demon eyes right behind. It's like a little smirk. You got the demon eyes. It looks badass. I like it.
Yeah, nice. It's awesome. Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah. So definitely loving the Freakshow and you.
Yeah, heck yeah.
So I'm going to ask you some random questions.
All right, that's fine. Go for it.
I like throwing some randoms in there. What is the average day like for your Freakshow?
The average day, let's see. Since we live in California, fucking work and play and work because gas is like $7 a gallon.
Is it really $7 by you now?
Oh yeah. It's starting to drop. To drop, but I've seen $7.49 up in LA, $7.49 a gallon. Yep.
Wow. Yeah, ours is down to about it. Let's see. Well, I go to a specific mall that has a gas station that's cheaper than anybody around for like 10 miles. But our average is about $4.30 a gallon now because it dropped.
And this whole thing, I'm not driving a Prius or anything. I have to put 91 octane in the car that I'm driving. So it's not cheap.
$7 gas. It's insane.
Yep. So even right now,
it's still not enough.
Even right now, I think it's like I think I've paid $6.09 this morning. So that's how much it's dropped.
Wow.
But $6 is still retarded. Like, dude.
Yeah, it is. And you know what? And that actually contributes to the prices of the tickets for a concert's going up. And a lot of people don't see that. A lot of people don't realize that on their end. They're just like, oh, these bands are getting greedy. No, they're not getting greedy. They have to travel. And a lot of them travel by bus. They don't fly because if they fly, they can only bring so many things with them when they fly. When they travel by bus, they're usually on tour. They can accommodate themselves. Gas is not cheap for them either today. So the ticket prices are going to go up.
Exactly.
For travel expenses. So it's not the venues. It's not the bands being greedy. They have to have the money to get there for you to. That's
why we have to sell merchandise because we're not making a lot at the door. We're not making a lot from the promoters anymore, and that's a big issue. And for the larger acts like Metallica, Megadeth, and so on and so forth, their fucking stages come in like 30 fucking semis.
Yeah.
They have to gas those up. They have to gas
on that bitch. I know. It's it's accommodating them. It's getting them there. They're not, the venues, of course, they're, like I'm talking actual venues. Yeah, they've got a fee for every stupid little thing they can come up with that still ends up back in their pocket. But it's not about it's part of it. Yeah, the venue, actual venues, not just small bars or anything or smaller venues. They come up with whatever excuse they want to come up with to charge you for the additional prices on tickets. But the bands have to get there, and that's right. For the smaller venues and the big bars that throw that, it's not the bars or the bands being greedy. I mean, you want to see the band, you got to pay. They got to get there.
Yeah.
If you got to pay an extra $5-10 for a ticket, okay, it takes away that $12 beer, that you would buy. What's worth, what's important more, the extra $12 that you pay to see the band, or that one beer you just lost out on?
Right, and it does. I mean, we as the metal community need to get back out to the shows, whether it's a little venue, big venue, outdoor venue, festival. We need to support music again, like we used to back in the day. Like every show that comes in town, man, I used to just be there. It didn't matter if it was at Brick by Brick here in San Diego or the Whiskey up in LA. I used to just go to shows constantly to show support for the acts that are working, because you got to remember, gas prices suck, and we have to pay gas to get to our places to practice. We got to buy strings, we got to buy food, we got to buy clothes, we got to buy everything that everybody else does, but we need the help because we have that extra expense,
Right. Yeah. And you just hope nothing else goes wrong on the road along the way, because just
Right.
like anybody else, it's a vehicle. Shit happens.
Right. Shit does happen. Trust me.
Mm-hmm. All the time.
Been stuck in Minnesota before with a tie rod breaking on the van, and everybody looking at each other like, now what do we do?
And I've seen that happen where, bands have gone live, and, they would go live while they're broken down. Wherever the hell their bus stopped is where they went live and said, can the fans help us? Do you know anyone who, especially if you're in the middle of nowhere, and there's the closest store you can go to get any kind of car parts is in some redneck town that's probably only got 500 people, and they close at 4 o'clock p.m., and it's literally 4:05 and no one's to be found. They reach out to the fans, hey, anyone who's willing to drive this out an hour or two, this and that, help us, keep us on the road, keep us. I've seen that, and I've been hit up a couple of times, and I've tried to help, when I could. One time I was working, I'm like, I can't do shit, I'm at work, but it happens, and there are some of us, if for all the bands, for Freakshow, for everyone, you guys ever break down, go live. I've seen it happen with a couple other bands. Go live and ask the fans for help, because somebody will hear you.
That's what I'm talking about. Savage Ladies of Metal info. That's priceless info right there. I'm serious.
Absolutely. And if you're in Chicago, I work a lot. Okay, I work a lot. I have 3 jobs besides the sandwiches. Not kidding. 3 jobs.
Wow.
Yeah, I work all the time. And 3 days a week, I have triple shifts. If you guys break down and you're near Chicago, hit me up. I'm up in the middle of the night on my 3rd job. I can shut that bitch down and be like, all right, what do you need? I'm going to see what I can pull off. Now, I'm not going to rob a store for you at 3 a.m. But I got a guy.
Yeah, right. Even that's becoming legal in our country now.
It's like everything that should matter doesn't anymore. It's like the whole fucking thing just got reversed.
Yeah. Totally crazy. Heck yeah.
So if it wasn't for music, what would you be doing?
Do I take the stereotypical route on this one, or do I don't know, because as long as I've been alive, I think when I was 5 years old, I remember wanting to be a musician then, like kindergarten, I wanted to be a musician. So and I wanted to play sports too. I was all into playing football and stuff. And I would have been a musician either way. There's no way out of it.
What inspired you to become a musician?
Ace Frehley. I think it was the Kiss Alive album when I was a little kid. That kind of spun me a little bit. I couldn't believe that these guys were dressed this way and playing hard rock like that. It was metal back then. It didn't have that. It didn't have that jazzy type stuff that was on the radio at the time, And I think we were lucky to ever have Kiss to inspire and create rock stars, right? Because come on, man, we all want to play guitar because Ace Frehley.
Yeah, I tried playing guitar. My one cousin, he's deceased now, but he tried when I was a kid playing. He's like, you need to learn guitar. And he tried teaching me, and I, even as a kid, I was like, deet squirrel. And I was just like, yeah, it's not gonna happen. I couldn't figure it out. It's like patting your head, rubbing your tummy at the same time. This shit ain't gonna happen to me either.
Yeah.
I'm not that coordinated. I'm not that coordinated.
It's about patience, really. You got to have patience with yourself, and also how determined are you to learn that song that you're hearing, and that's what I did as a kid. I just listened to vinyl records. There was no YouTube. Right. So I learned from listening to albums, and luckily for me, I could always picture them playing it in my head. So I was always half a step off. That's how I found out my ear is almost perfect pitch, but a half a step flat. So right. I already know where to start because I know I'm flat every time, Yeah. And it started off with Judas Priest and Scorpions, and then Iron Maiden. I was like, ooh, and then the Metallica and the Slayer, and it got harder. King Diamond. Oh my God. Yeah, those days that's when it was fun because, you could play for your buddies. Everybody dug it if you could play the whole song, leads and everything. And then when I got into the business where it's like you have to write your own songs, you're trying to get somewhere with your own music, what a big learning. Oh, my God. A lot of bands out there. There's a couple little things that they need to understand about writing your own music. One, you got to remember this. Number one, would you buy it? That's why I go by that with myself. Would you buy it? You wrote a good song. All your buddies like it, but how about that group of people over there that don't know you? How do they feel about hearing your music? So pretty much if you would buy your own music, then people like yourself and like your buddies would buy it too.
Right.
So that's my tip for the day.
Tip of the day. I like that. From the Freak Show. Hey, so the freaks don't always come out at night. We're here right now and we're live.
Yeah, and it's daytime here.
And it's hot as hell out.
Yeah, it's fucking scorching in San Diego right now. Like for me anyway, my room's always hot anyway. This room's always hot.
Yeah, I gotta come back to this. I gotta come to California again, but for a completely different reason. I'm just saying facts. But hey, I got a free trip out of it, so thank you for that. So yeah. Anyway, what was I gonna say? What the hell did I write last night? I wrote all this down last night. I was really stoned. I was doing like 2 different shows.
Oh shit!
What is the biggest? What would you consider to be the biggest problem that you encountered along the journey of being a musician?
That people support rumors and not music. I think with for me personally, it's always been drama, whether I said something or did it. Most of the time I never said anything, and people are projecting their whatever they got going on me, which is pretty funny. There's been a lot of I never said that, because if it was me to say it, I would grab you by your shirt, pull you in, and fucking tell you in your face. I'm not even like little sneaky guy, but I think that's kind of like the major problem with California. A lot of Southern. I'm not going to say California because I'm sure the Bay Area guys go through their legit drama, but they're all really good musicians and care about playing. Whereas down here in Southern California, it's a lot of status shit, right? Like, well, my band's this or my band's that. It's like that. And not a lot of camaraderie. I'm not seeing a lot of that. Bands will be friends with other bands from other places, but in our own area here, I mean, it's kind of hokey in a way. I mean, Warrior Dave up in Hollywood has been working his ass off to get all kinds of different bands together to play at the Whiskey. He's been booking that place up like, I mean, crazy every weekend. He's got like fucking 30 things on his show for Facebook, and it's guys like that and guys like you. Well, Savage Ladies of Metal. It's that's who's really keeping our fabric together. The bands have become lazy. Number one, with promotion and everything else, because the internet.
Yes, and the venues, they're just as bad. They're just, the venues, they don't promote their own shit. They only pick what they feel they want to promote. It's like, no, you gotta, it's more than just put money in your pocket. It's helping the bands,
Yeah, and I think until people kind of wake up and create it all, it'll happen. We need to get the ball rolling to where we don't have to even fuck with it, But right. I think the technology has become a me center. I know somebody, I'm not going to name any names, but it went from posts of their band to just them. And it's like, well, I know you still got a band, but what happened to your band? What happened to promoting your band?
Yeah.
And it turns into self-promotion. And the reason why is because a person sitting in front of the computer 24/7 going, well, I'm not seeing enough of me. I'm working really hard. So it really is a team effort too, getting your friends to post your posts. You had that flyer, I saw it, and I posted it. I reposted that because it's well, somebody put some work into that. I'm going to help,
Right.
I don't think anybody realizes that,
Right. Yeah, it's work doing everything on every end, but it's worth it, and even if people don't turn around and say thank you to me all the time, that's what I'm doing what I love, and I'm trying to do something with it. I'm trying to do more. I'm trying to get bigger, and it's
yes, and you will, and I know that what you've done is work, because Sepsis, I love that band, right? I totally dig what they do. Yeah, 100%. I totally dig what they do, but how would I have found them without you?
And see, and that's another thing I'm doing, is I want to, especially with female-fronted bands, is I'm trying to put it out there that Savages want to help, especially female-fronted bands, and I'm prime central in between everything from east to west coast. If you're based on the East Coast, step up and talk to me. Say, hey, Brian, I would love to be a Savage and help get my music out through the Chicago network.
Yeah,
we can help get you known here. Get that out here with all the right connections, Same with the West Coast, Sorry, I don't, I'm sorry you don't have any females in your band, so you won't get that backdoor entrance. No guys get the back door.
Yeah, right.
I know. I can't believe anyway.
Oh man,
that's terrible.
Okay.
But
go ahead. I was gonna say, I'm big boy manners.
I can go an hour without going left. I swear.
Okay.
I almost did it. I made it 48 minutes almost. So one thing I want to bring up is, for some reason, StreamYard picks and chooses what comments are coming up that I can see, and a lot of them aren't. So I always keep my phone open, and I see more on my phone than what comes up on the laptop. So I apologize to anyone who's waiting for a response. Bashir Daniel wanted to know, and I know you said it earlier. You said, "What is that guitar? Is that a Black Cat?"
No, Black Cat is what he said.
Yeah.
No, Viper guitars. Like I was saying, that headstock kind of reminds you of a Black Cat or a Caparson, but it's different from everybody else's. It's more like a snake's fang. Viper guitars, so it looks like a tooth actually.
And how many do you have? How many Viper guitars or signature Viper guitars do you have?
I have 4.
I have 4 that are made for you.
Yes, they're my signature. These 2 are called the AVO 7 2208 series, and then the other 2 are called War Machine. If you go to Viper Guitar, viperguitar.com, and you'll see my War Machines on that website. I have one with passive and one with Fishman Fluence pickups.
and then 2 more to come soon.
Yeah, 2 more coming this year. Yeah.
Dude, that's awesome.
Yep, 2 a year.
So, random question. I like this question. I throw it out there every now and then. What would you rather be confronted by? 100 duck-sized horses or 1 horse-sized duck?
Oh, that's a good one. Let's see. Actually, 100 little duck-sized horses.
Think about that. You see 100 of those little bastards, and they look like, and they're all a bunch of duck-sized little horses coming at you. Or would you rather see 1 duck-sized horse? That's a big ass duck. Imagine the beak on that bitch.
And I don't know if you've ever been chased by a duck or a swan. They're fucking mean.
Yeah, they're mean bastards. I grew up in a township called Mallard Lake Estates, and obviously mallards were everywhere. They're some mean bastards, man. You don't even have to be anywhere near them. I'll just fly up and just come at you.
Yeah.
And then you're not supposed to swing because that's abuse. I'm swinging.
Classic.
Just saying. I don't believe in animal abuse, but if that motherfucker's coming at me for no reason, I'm swinging.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah. So which one would it be?
Would you say? Yeah. My hair fucking so long.
Which would it be? 100 duck-sized horses or 1 horse-sized duck?
Yeah, I would go with the 100 little guys.
That might be cute.
Yeah, totally.
Let me pet you as they start fucking butt kicking me and shit.
Well, if I was hunting though, I'll take the 1 big ass duck.
Dude, and, that's a whole different way of deep throating, having that big ass beak. Be like, I got this. Gone. That's it'd be an interesting sight seeing big ass ducks like that. I keep getting kicked out of everything. So when you're on stage, if you see the audience isn't active, they're not bouncing around, they're not showing any emotion, how do you change that? What would you do on stage to
when does that happen? I'm like, when does that happen?
You never know.
Shit.
I mean, sometimes I go to concerts and it's a killer band that's on stage and we're up front. I don't like being in back. I'll never be in the back. Yeah. And everyone's just standing there, staring at the band. Like, what's wrong with you?
Well, it's like this, right? If people are just standing there, you can tell if they're interested in standing there or disinterested. Usually, if they're disinterested, they'll just walk out. But we never had that problem, which is really, really cool, actually. Even with people that wanted to hear something more aggressive or faster or whatever, they still kind of appreciate how heavy we are. So I don't know. I'm blasting when I'm on stage. I'm head whipping the whole time. So not really looking at the crowd too often.
Yeah. I mean, I can't really see you seeing through your dreads. I mean, your dreads are longer than mine, dude.
Yeah. My hair's past my ass.
Yeah, you got some long dreads, man. You got some crazy shit. But some great pictures. I love the fucking stage photos, man. Your hair is just like,
right, just hitting people with the shit.
Right? That's what I love about shows. If when everything's crammed and everyone's smashing you in, you're a chick and you got hair like yours and mine, and it's 3 feet fucking long, and you know how to whip that bitch. You'll get your space very quickly.
Yeah.
You start swinging that in a circle, and everyone's just like, bitch. I do it all the time.
Totally.
It's a good way to get people to get away from you, especially that one fan that just stinks and smells like he hasn't showered in like 3 years.
Oh. Yeah. I'll stay over there.
Right. So, let's see. What was I gonna? I lost my spot. Who do you see as your main competitor?
Main competitor?
Mm-hmm.
God, anybody that's selling more albums than us, anyone. These days you're not in your own lane anymore because I don't think there's anybody with a playlist that isn't a bunch of different genres. You know what I mean?
Right.
So, and also,
So
yeah, you're going to be competitive with yourself mostly, I would say.
yeah, you are your worst enemy.
Yep.
Yeah, I get that. So, what are some qualities do you think that makes a good musician?
What's that? I'm sorry?
What are some good qualities you think that makes a good musician?
Oh, quality wise, well, being honest with yourself, number one. You know, knowing your capabilities, not trying to act as if you're beyond your own capabilities, because, well, it just ends up being a frustrating mess and turns into a bunch of lies and so on and so forth. Confidence, self-confidence,
Yeah.
someone that actually believes in themselves 100%. Like, you know, I don't care if I'm ugly, I can do this, I got this, I'm good, don't worry. That attitude right there is a big quality, especially in our game, right? And then another good quality is to, yeah, stay up on, you know, the newest gear, the newest things, so you don't get lost with the technology. You know what I mean?
Right.
Because a lot of people fall off the wagon and well, they're still playing with yesterday's stuff, even though some stuff, old stuff's good. You still need to be aware of how the world's changing.
Yeah.
Yep, yep.
You know, and you know, it that actually kind of leads. Sorry, my phone's a little. That kind of leads to you know, it's about being taught by amazing teachers. You know, and some people, you know, not everyone can, you know, teaches or learns how to play guitar by listening to it. Not everyone can do that. You have to be taught. You know, it's just like there's a lot of musicians, a lot of singers out there who started out in opera, you know, who are now killing it with the combination of opera and mellow. You know, just the collaboration is just amazing. Now you teach guitar lessons too, don't you?
Yeah, and I do. And the way I teach kids is this: it's like I teach them a melody, I teach them a chord structure, little deal, and it's the first thing I teach them. And the reason is that once they get the chords down, then I will record them playing the chords, and then I will record them playing the melody over it, so they can say to themselves, hold on a second, I just did that. And that's like the confidence they need to continue on. Like, well, I want to learn something else. I want to be able to write my own songs too. And that's it. That's how you do it. That's how you teach them the best way, I think.
That's a positive teaching way. You know, it's I don't want to use the word brainwashing as a term, but it's a positive brainwashing. It's like you are actually showing them what they accomplished, because they're not going to hear that, and when they're playing it, they're just going to be like, I screwed up, just like we all do, you know. But when they hear the difference, when they actually sit there and listen to themselves, that is a major boost. It's a confidence booster that they need, and it gives them that want to keep going. What's next? I want to do more. I want to do more. You know, then it's like, wait, we got to slow down first. You know?
Yeah, exactly. And one of the things too is like, so obviously being a metal guitar player, first you're giving them the distortion and making it sound metal, like, yeah. And then you want to show them how it sounds if they were playing in church too. So you're like, okay, so here's a clean guitar, play the same chord structure and play the melody, so they can understand how tones affect how they feel too as well. So I think it's super important, you know, and their strength. Let's get the hands strong. I work on that too.
Yeah, and that's exactly what they need, you know. I mean, they need that confidence booster, you know.
Yes,
you know,
yes.
So, you know, positive reinforcement, absolutely. You know, positive encouragement, positive everything, you know.
Yeah. Build people up. Don't tear them down. That's the number one rule, you know.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So, Mike, I want to say thank you so much for being on here. Is there anything else you would like to tell everyone that you got coming up, or anything that you're not supposed to talk about? Maybe you could drop a hint.
Well, okay. Well, number one, viberguitar.com, Stone Tone Products,
Yeah.
Floyd Rose, original Floyd Rose, not the copies. Viper guitars, though. And September 30th, live at the Whiskey A Go Go in Hollywood. If anybody out this way is listening, September 30th, come out and see Freakshow. We are definitely going to shake the building. That's what we do. It's like 9.0 on the Richter.
9.0?
What's that?
Did you say 9.0?
9.0 on the Richter scale. That means no buildings are standing.
I thought you said 9.0. I'm like, wait, what?
Oh, man.
Oh, that's funny. It's funny.
Savage, hey, and thank you, Savage Ladies of Metal.
Absolutely, man. Oh, yeah.
Appreciate you.
So what platforms can they find you? Any links for the music?
Oh, God.
Anything? Where can they find you?
Yeah, you can find us on YouTube, Spotify. Everybody hates Spotify, but we're there. Add us to your playlist. Apple Music, Deezer if you're in Europe listening. Yeah, pretty much everywhere. Freakshow, and the album's called Freakshow. Check it out. Crank it up.
Yeah. And the freaks don't only come out at night.
That's it.
Yeah, just saying. Mike, thank you, man. It was awesome seeing you again, talking to you again, and we will definitely be talking soon.
Yes, really soon. I'll be sending you that demo here really soon. You're gonna crack yourself.
Yeah, you got my number. Hit me up.
Yep, we'll do.
All right, Mike. Man,
all right,
respect, man.
All right.
You have a good one, hon.
All right, see ya.
Take care.